Hi, and welcome to the latest episode of YBE, Young Black Entrepreneur with me, Karabuche Mukwape. We have another question today, and I hope in answering it that I will help you expand your knowledge and thinking about how to thrive in these difficult times. Our question today is from John, who writes to us from Johannesburg, and he says, "Hi Karabo, I'm running a business and have been doing so for a number of years. I'm having a really hard time getting traction with the business. It's not growing, and in fact, with the market being as challenging as it is right now, we're really struggling to stay afloat. It seems that our products just aren't finding the kind of audience that we need in order to be able to grow the business as we would like. What would you recommend that I do before it's too late?" John, thank you so much for this question. Fantastic question. And you are not alone in being where you are. This is a very commonplace for an entrepreneur to find themselves having launched into a business with all the enthusiasm and the goodwill in the world. One can find oneself in a place where it's not working. And really the only question that remains for the entrepreneur, for yourself in the situation, is what are you going to do? And essentially you have two options. You can keep doing more of the same until such time as you run out of time and you go out of business, and that sounds like that's the likely outcome if you continue. Or you can chart a new course. You can find a new way. You can find new opportunities. But of course that's easier said than done. And granted that's what you're thinking, well, Karabo, it's not as though I haven't thought of this before. Well, I'll tell you about my experience, certainly here at HomeCloud, John, where we've had more than one near-death experience over the course of the last couple of years. And I can think back in particular to the very early days when we launched as a business that had a route to market predominantly built on direct marketing. So we had a team of some 20-something salespeople in various parts of the country, and we tasked them with the job of finding customers and getting those customers to invite them to their homes, to demonstrate our internet products to them, and on that basis sign up deals. It was a spectacular failure. It didn't work. And 6 months into that particular approach, we realized that if we continued down this path, we were doomed to failure. And so it was incumbent then on me and my team to find a way to pivot. And my best advice to you and to anyone wanting to pivot from an idea that isn't working to something that has a chance of working is not to throw everything out. Because what I do know about your business, without even knowing your business, is that not everything is broken. Not everything is not working. In all likelihood, there are one or two or three aspects of your business that are working, that are showing promise, that are showing signs that are encouraging. One or two of your products that customers seem to be responding to better than others. One or two aspects of your operation that seem to be bedding down better than others. And these are what are called bright spots in anthropology and in the kind of field of entrepreneurial study. And bright spots are so important, because bright spots in the midst of the darkness represent opportunity. Bright spots in the midst of the darkness represent guiding lights. And so, John, my challenge to you in your business is to ask yourself, what are the bright spots? And which of those bright spots seems the most encouraging? Which of those bright spots, if true, if the trend that you see is a real trend, if the thing that you think that you see is a real thing, represent the biggest opportunity for your business to pivot in a new direction? In our case at HomeCloud, we began investing very modestly and very speculatively in digital marketing. We started spending some money on Facebook. I remember our very first Facebook ad going out and being so pleasantly surprised at the relatively enthusiastic reception that we got to that ad, even though looking back on it, it was thoroughly amateurish. But there was enough there in that ad and in the subsequent ads that we ran. There was enough encouragement in the relatively low cost of customer acquisition that seemed possible in that digital platform, that there came a moment in time when I had a decision to make and a decision to pivot, and pivot hard. And so what we did in that moment, not having the luxury of time, running out of runway, running out of money, was to throw all of our eggs into that digital marketing channel. And that was one of the bigger, more difficult decisions that we ever made. But I dare say we never made a better decision in the course of the life of this business. And so we put all our money into digital marketing. And we began the very steep learning curve that we had to go on to know and understand digital platforms, Facebook marketing, the Google Search Network marketing platform, the Google Display Network marketing platform, all of which have proved hugely fruitful to us over time. Within the course of 3 to 6 months, it was very clear that we had made the right decision. And we went from being a company that was flailing and unable to get traction in the marketplace to a company that was pioneering digital marketing, certainly in our sector. And on that basis, we've built the business, and the business has continued to grow and thrive and expand on the back of that one decision. But that decision doesn't represent genius on my part or genius on the part of my management team. That decision represents our recognizing that whilst everything felt like it wasn't working, whilst we felt as though we were in the darkest of places, there were 1 or 2 bright spots in our environment which represented opportunity, and we chose to leverage one of those bright spots and did so successfully. And on the basis of that, we're able to survive and have been able to continue our path towards growth and success. And so I believe for you, John, that the same is possible. For any of you watching this video, the same is possible. Any of you who are struggling, who feel as though you're going to be out of business any moment, I want to tell you that there is still hope. I always say to myself and to my team that victory belongs to the last man standing. And so half the trick in business is just to survive long enough to win. And for as long as you're alive, there is hope. For as long as you're alive, there is hope. And so I encourage you to keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible, John, to throw your energy and your creativity into exploring the 1 or 2 or 3 things that are working. Choose the one that seems most promising and choose it with conviction. And I think you have a chance, a real chance at survival. And if you survive, you have a chance, a real chance at thriving and succeeding in these difficult times. I wish you all the best, and I thank you and everyone for joining us for this latest episode of YBE, Young Black Entrepreneur, with me, Karabuche Mukwape. Thank you. And if any of you want to ask more questions, and if any of you want to ask questions of your own, please feel free to reach out to me, send me a message, and I will do my best to put together a little video for you to encourage you on your journey towards success. Bye for now.